Hey, what's everyone? Happy March, happy Saturday, and we're going to get right into it. Lots of heavy speculation regarding the brand new released 2019 proof sets. It's not really the proof set that we're going to talk about. It's going to be the one coin that they included within the set that's causing a lot of buzz, a lot of excitement, very little disappointment out there. A little bit, not too much anger that I've heard. I think people, the very few that I did see among the comments on the video I did the other day before the release of this set, which by the way was yesterday, so that was 2 days ago, was that the coin should have been made available as a standalone. Nobody wanted to buy a full 2019 proof set. Okay, that's half understandable. Okay, but we have to keep in mind, and most importantly, we cannot lose sight on this extra bit of detail that the U.S. Mint is doing to help infuse a little bit more excitement within the coin community by offering plus one unique additions to our coin sets. Okay, let's keep this in mind. These are unique plus one add-ons to these sets. They didn't have to implement anything at all, to be honest with you, because at the end of the day, they are going to end up selling quite a few of proof sets like they do every year. But because of the overall kind of beginning of what would be a really nice and unique program, the mintage figures are going to go up drastically. Okay, and I'm gonna talk about a little bit about what the vintage figures typically are, and we're going to kind of compartmentalize just the general proof set that was made last year compared to what it is this year. All right. So I went ahead and I pulled up the US Mint sales figures up to February 24th. And the numbers are pretty interesting. So up to this point, which by the way, the 2018 US proof set is very much still available today. Okay, you can go on there, you could buy it, for the price that they're offering up on there. But the US Mint has sold to the number 495,927 total sets. That is a relatively small mintage figure for a proof set to begin with, okay? Because it is only a collector's item issue that is only available on the usmint.gov store. Okay, so there is no other outlets to buy these other than third party, whether it's eBay, some of those third party retail sites, AppMex, they're out there and everywhere. But all the sales originated from the U.S. Mint store. Okay, and these have no household limits, nothing like that. So again, like I've stressed before, you could order one, you could order 1,000, okay, to go toward that bottom line there. So let's just say, let's go ahead and round up and say the U.S. Mint is going to sell 500,000 sets for 2018. Speculatively, where does that put the 2019 set with the addition of the Proof 2019 W included in there as a, let me stress this again, plus one add-on, okay? And it's really interesting to kind of think about the whole process and ideally where, in the grand scheme of things, these will end up as, toward the end of the year or next year when the Mint decides to put the kibosh on the production, because these things are mint on demand. All right, much like the Silver Eagles, which by the way, they've halted production because they've sold out of the stock that they've made. Is it any indication that the silver market is going up? No, it's just with the government shutdown, okay, the U.S. Mint was largely affected, and therefore a lot of their production has fallen off the first 2 months of the year. Okay, we saw that with the Apollo 11 commemorative coin release, at the time of that release, the government shutdown was still happening. So the U.S. Mint was working on about maybe 50% of their typical workforce, which affected their mintage runs on a lot of these coins. Okay, but that's a different story for a different time. But I just want to lay that out there, that there might be some underlying outside effects also on this set, because if we sold 500,000 last year, I would safely assume that figure for this year is going to be roughly 3 times the amount. So 1.5 million, maybe perhaps 2 million, which would be fair. But at the same time, I don't think it's I don't want to get carried away and say, oh yeah, everyone's going to flock in droves to buy this set and inflate the overall mintage number to 5 million or 10 million. That's not going to happen. Okay, and the very, very reason why is, again, this coin was not widely publicized. Okay, this is a proof set only issue. That is a proof coin. So this coin right here was never made for circulation. All right, so nobody's really going to know about it. No publicity. You're not going to find these in change. End of story. That's going to keep the overall mintage limit low. Now, if we come up at the end of the year and then the mintage overall figure for the 2019 proof set ends up being under 1 million, I still wouldn't be surprised because of the lack of advertising surrounding it. So this brings up a few interesting other sub-details, okay, based off of what I've read in the comments. And by the way, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for all the feedback. Yeah, I was a little late to the party discussing this coin and just overall details. I've made some missteps in the fact that, oh yeah, I'm probably the first one to talk about this. No, the word is out. And probably this is the biggest thing in terms of advertising and awareness for the community, is seeing this firsthand on YouTube. And coin collecting is starting to pick up a lot of popularity these days, for a myriad of reasons. But one of the subtopics that I had discussed with a few patrons is that these things are not grading well. There's been some coins that have been ordered, and I suppose people are already receiving this because they're doing the overnight shipping. They'll order 100 of them, pay the fee for the overnight shipping. They've received it and then have sent that off to NGC. Okay, which, by the way, that's a good-looking slab right on the screen there for you. So that's what it'll look like for the first ever W Mint Mark Lincoln set. That in itself is huge news. All right, but speculatively, I would anticipate it's someone had said these are not grading well, but we don't know that for sure because we're 24 hours out from the sale of the coin, and then I doubt NGC would have received hundreds of orders in the last 24 hours when when the U.S. Mint is trying to do the logistical aspect of getting these coins to the customers first. As good and quick as transportation and logistics is today, I doubt in 24 hours that a customer receives a coin and has sent it to NGC unless they walk it up to the counter at NGC headquarters and start the submission process. Okay, NGC knew that they were going to be overwhelmed with the first batch of these coins. It's going to happen in the next 10 to 14 days, no doubt about it. Here is my general overlook about where these coins will kind of lie in terms of gradability, okay? Based off of years past, Proof 68 and Proof 69 are really common, okay? Proof 70 coins, are not rare. They're not even uncommon, but they're a little bit tougher than the previous two. I could foresee kind of like a 30-30 or a 40-40-20 mix. Okay, 30% 68s, 30% 69s, and then that last 20% will end up being of the Proof 70 Ultra Cameo coins that everybody is looking for. Now, what do we expect to pay for these things, and what is acceptable? Okay, so that between now and the next release of the silver proof set, in which there will be a reverse proof version of the 2019 W Lincoln set that will be included in there. It's a very short window. I believe it's in April, from what someone said. So there's a very short window in which you're going to maximize the amount of money that you're able to get for these coins in proof 70. Okay, we're not talking about 68 or 69s. It's going to be virtually a wash. Okay, by the time you factor in your grading fees, you'll be lucky if you make 10-20 bucks off of each of those coins. But proof 70 is obviously where you're going to see a lot more money come in. Okay, there's already pre-sales on eBay somewhere in the $275 to $300 range for a proof 70. While today that's acceptable and you will have a few sales at that level, we have to think clearly about what the oversaturation of grading is going to do to the overall value of the proof 70 grade of this coin. Okay, it's going to plummet like a rock. Where do I see it after 30 to 45 days? Right around the release of that new reverse proof set, or the reverse proof coin in the silver set. I could see these things dropping way down to about 50-60 bucks in proof 70. Yeah, that's right, you heard it here first. I firmly believe that these are going to drop like a rock because of the overpopulation amount that will grade out at 70. While there's still less of a quantity at proof 70 compared to its 68 and 69 cousins, there's going to be a ton of this to fulfill the demand. Now that's in the short term. So once we have the regular proof sets hit the market, and then we have the reverse proof, and then the subsequent satin uncirculated that's going to be in the mid set. Once those all hit the grading companies, and then we've seen a good 3 to 6 month kind of like rotating market value of these coins on like eBay, maybe some of those other sites like Great Collections or Heritage might have a few of these. Heritage, I know that's going to be tough because they don't like to deal with like the super modern age of coins. Anything usually post 2005 they like to stay away from. But we will have a good indication of where this market is at the 6-month level. So I would say about the first, right outside 2019, as we kick off 2020, we're going to get a better idea of where these things are going to settle at. And then I would see in the next 5 to 10 years, if the mint decides that this is going to be a one-shot year, this could be a huge investment opportunity. Now, that's the caveat. If the mint decides they're going to continue on with the 2019 W type of release for the 2020s, 2021s, okay, that might prove problematic. Okay, not entirely. It's not going to be catastrophic to the marketability of the 2019 coins in the long run. However, these coins are not going to fulfill their full potential in 5 to 10 years because of the oversaturation of subsequent dates after this one. So I want to talk about, kind of in a nutshell, where we're looking at market value wise on this coin. Just to recap, okay, compared to its last year 2018 proof set, because of the addition of the 19W Lincoln set, I will see approximately a 3 to 4 times increase in mintage figures. Now, the only thing that'll make that number shoot up is more publicity to non-collectors that they'll want to buy this up, because it's a relatively low price point for the set. $28, you can't go wrong for a numismatic set. And long term, let's say, or in the short term, the proof 70 graded coins will plummet down to about 25% of the current today's market price of about $275 to $300, and that might be your buy rate. Okay, when you go into trying to maybe possibly speculate on this coin. And let's hope for the best that the U.S. Mint is not going to do a repeat of a 2020 W proof Lincoln. From what I heard, it could be a different denomination, and that'll set its own market trend by itself. So I wanted to talk about that. Thank you for joining in for quite an extensive discussion about the future market speculation on the 2019 Lincoln cents. This is a big deal. I've always dreamt and envisioned that the U.S. Mint is going to finally listen to the consumers and collectors and then drive some sort of extra collectability, okay, into the marketplace. It's going to be uncomfortable for them to do such a thing because that's not what they're about, okay, entirely. They want to just make sets, make profit off of them, but they're having a hard. This is exactly the injection they need to boost sales. Okay, I'm not going to lie. As a collector, okay, we have a different outlook than the U.S. Mint does. They're all about profitability, even though they are a government entity. They sell product. Okay, so they make money, not lose money. Yeah, come check me out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And as always, the best absolute way that you can support my channel is to buy me pizza. No, I'm just kidding. Hit the like button. Enjoy your guys' time. Love you. See you on the next one. And yeah, go ahead and comment below.